Hello, good evening for those of you who live in the Pacific Northwest. I was planning to do this live video today from the Northwest Washington Fair, which is in Lynden, which is like 10 minutes from where I live. And I went there with my mom and dad, and I was going to do a live with them today at the fair. But as you can see, I'm at home and I am doing it on my own. And not really sure why I thought I'd be able to do it at the fair with them. But with two of us, with my mom, it took both of our full-time attention to just make it through the fair. And we actually had a good time. It's one of her favorite things to do. Like, she used to love to go to the fair. And so my dad thanked me for going with them this time because, as he said, this is probably one of the last times she's going to get to go because it's just getting too difficult, and who knows where she'll be in a year. But he was really grateful that I went with them so they could go this year. Hi, Tracy. Thanks for popping on. And so we got in the fair, and my dad has this really cool walker for my mom, and it's tall. It's not like the little short one, so you're kind of hunched over when you're walking it. It's actually tall, standing height, so that she can just hold it naturally and walk upright. And it has a seat on it, and it's really her first opportunity to really use it, and she did really well, which was good. It was a good trial run to see how she would do with it, but she kept pulling the handbrakes on it, so we'd be walking and all of a sudden we'd all jerk to a stop because she'd pull handbrakes, which was kind of funny. But my dad started getting irritated after about the third time it got done. But anyway, so we went through the fair, and we walked through all the animal barns, and she did really great until we hit the pig barn. And she hit the pig barn, and it was feeding time, and the pigs started squealing, and I mean, instantly my mom had her hands in her ears, and she just kept shaking her head, and she kept saying, no, 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 no. And she was just freaking out because the pigs were making so much noise. And that's something that I've learned recently, is within the last probably 6 months, is my mom has become really sensitive to sound. So we rushed through the pig barn to get out of it, and she did really well. She did think that she knew every single person at the fair, and she was constantly waving at people and saying hello and trying to have conversations with people and getting upset if they walked away from us if we were standing somewhere. I mean, it was very very interesting, but it did, like I said, it took both of us, my dad and I, to keep an eye on her at all times because she was just so engaged with everything that was going on. But then we decided to indulge my dad's one thing that he goes to the fair for, which is the big basket of curly fries. So we sat down at the picnic tables, and he went and got the curly fries, and we were all sharing the basket of curly fries. And for no reason, I mean, literally, we were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, my mom was just raging mad at Dad and I. I mean, just mad at us. And we were like, what is the matter, And she was mad we were eating the French fries. She was mad that she had ketchup. She was mad she had a napkin in front of her. I mean, she was just mad about everything. And so we did our best to try and keep her eating and trying to keep her engaged, and then finally decided it wasn't worth it, and it was time to just dump the fries and get up and keep moving. But it was like something had triggered her at that point, and so the next hour she just kept vacillating between happy and mad, happy and mad, happy and mad. And for no reason. So finally, my dad decided to get a drink and sit down again over by a little place where they were having music, and just look, because she likes music, and we thought we'd just sit there for a few minutes. And she got it in her head that this boy that was across from us was someone she knew, and she just like suddenly got up, walked over to him, and she had her hands, and she put her hands on his face like this, and she's like bent down in front of him, and she's just talking gibberish to this like 12-year-old boy. And the poor boy was so freaked out. I mean, he was freaked out. And I was like, I'm so sorry. She doesn't know you. Like, I apologize, and I'm like, come on, mama, and I'm trying to pull her, away. And then she was pissed at us because we wanted her to leave the boy alone. And, finally my dad's like, just stay here with us, stay here with us. And she's like, okay. And then she like literally like turned her back on him and walked the complete opposite direction as if we weren't even there. So I went chasing after her, and my dad's hollering behind me, it's time to go. Because I think it was done. Everyone was kind of done. I think my mom was done, and my dad was definitely done. His patience had worn out by that point. But, it just reminds me that, you just don't know what you're going to get with someone who has Alzheimer's. Like, you never know what you're going to get. And I mean, my mom was having a great time and laughing and enjoying everything as we went through the fair and looking at the plants and the quilts and all of the displays and the animals, and she loved all of it. And then with the flip of an emotion, she was angry and upset, and nothing we did could make her happy, and she was just done. And we finally, as we were walking out of the fair, then she got mad at us because we were leaving, because she didn't want to leave. And it was kind of one of those no-win situations. And my poor dad, like, I knew his patience was done about an hour before we left, and they only planned to go for 4 hours, and we were only there for 3. So, they didn't even quite make it the 4 hours they were planning on going. But the minute we got in the car and we started coming home, my mom was out, totally passed out in the seat, sleeping, because she was just tuckered out, done. And, it's just, these are the adventures of having someone with Alzheimer's, because there's still, I think the thing I love about my dad is he still wants to live his life. He's not holing up somewhere and not living life. He and my mom are still living life. And, yes, she has this debilitating disease, and yes, he can't leave the house without a change of clothes for her because she could have accidents or whatever, but he's still living life, and they're still living life, and he still wants her in the world and socializing and engaging with people and participating in life. And I love that about my dad. I love that he wants that for her, and that he's willing to put himself in a position where he's not comfortable, because my dad is not one of those people that's comfortable with attention drawn to him. And he's not comfortable with, like when my mom starts talking gibberish to people, like, it makes him uncomfortable because he wants her to just quiet down. And, he doesn't know how to deal with that, right? So he's learning to overcome that. And I'm so proud of him for what he's doing with my mom, and the way that he cares that she lives every day to the fullest while she's still here. And that even if she has her moments and her bouts of anger and her being frustrated and all the issues that come with her having Alzheimer's, it doesn't matter to my dad. He just wants to love her. He just wants to enjoy every minute with her. And I think it's amazing. Totally amazing. So, a day in the life of Alzheimer's at the Northwest Washington Fair. And, I went because I knew my dad needed help, and I'm really glad I went. We had a really great time. and it's just more memories for me to keep and to hold on to. But I think he's right. I don't know that we'll be going next year, depending on where my mom's at in this journey that she's on. Thanks for joining me, and I hope you guys all have a great, I guess, week, because it'll be another week before I post probably about my mom's Alzheimer's journey. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.